As a farmer looking to do Open Farm Sunday, I'd say go for it. You've just got to do it. It helps you engage with the public so much. When we start planning for Open Farm Sunday, we start with a map of the farm. We plan out where everything is going to be. So with regards to us, we do farm walks. So from that map, we look at where our crops are and decide where we take our walk through our woodlands and round our pools to also incorporate the conservation side of the farm walk as well. Right, from our map, we set out tables at each of our crop points where we're going to stop, and that's where we put our props out ready to use. So for instance, if we're in the wheat field, we'll have all our wheat products, and we also have a metre square that we actually put on the crop to show people how many seeds get planted in that metre square, and from that how much gets produced from that, so they can actually see something visual. Also in that metre square, we look at what insects we can find in that metre square, what disease we can find in there, all sorts of things like that, so it brings everything together towards that crop and get people focusing on that crop. On our farm walks, there's 3 of us that do it. There's myself, my husband and our agronomist, and from the 3 of us we bounce off each other to give the story of farming. So when we're talking about chemicals, the agronomist comes in and talks all about that. From the actual land, my husband talks about the farm that it grows, and I help talk about the conservation. Again, if we've missed something in the story, we prompt each other and ask a question to say, what about this, what about that, and then that helps us all tell the full story and give as much as we can across to the public. One of the things we like to do on Open Farm Sunday is incorporate our woodlands, because it's good for the general public to see the conservation work that we're doing. We have a lot of wildlife that we're proud of here on the farm, and that couples alongside working with our farmland as well. So it's nice for them to actually see that whilst we're farming, we're still doing something for the conservation. For Open Farm Sunday, we do lots of different things to show how diverse our farm is, to get an income stream into the farm to make it sustainable. We have vintage machinery out in this field here. We have working gun dogs working in the pools. We have the Model Air Club that have an airstrip on our farm. So there's lots of things we bring together for Open Farm Sunday to actually show the public what we actually do on our farm, which is not just farming. This is our 3rd year of doing Open Farm Sunday. The first year we did it as a marketing exercise to see what diversification would be possible here on the farm to help us make us more sustainable. And from that we found that people wanted to come around the farm and walk around the farm and learn about farming. So it gave us the courage to actually put in a planning permission for a tea room and educational walks here on the farm. And as you can see behind me, that is actually starting to happen now. We're actually building our tea room, and hopefully it'll be open for Open Farm Sunday this year, 2019. Lots of helpers on the day at Open Farm Sunday. Our farm talks, we have our agronomist helping us. In the grain bay we have our local grain merchant helping us out in there. We have local engineers that can talk about the machinery and how it operates with the actual static displays. We have the local vintage club come and set up all their tractors in the field to get public engaged with farming. We have the working gun dog group that actually use their dogs on here on the farm to actually display their dogs. We have the local Model Air Club who come and fly their planes and their drones, and they talk about how drones are used in technology with farming here today. We're in our 3rd year of Open Farm Sunday now, so we're hoping to attract a large number of people, so we use lots of channels to advertise the event. First and foremost, we use the leaf material that they provide us, the posters, the leaflets, and post those out in the local area. And also from those we can use those for the newspaper advertisements. Also Facebook as well, we use it on there. And we also contact our local radio station. We have an afternoon on the farm filming of what we do for Open Farm Sunday. The week before Open Farm Sunday, we set out all of the machinery display and everything like that. We also set out our signage. We go through our risk assessment that we carried out earlier on and follow up on all the points of that, making sure that certain areas are cordoned off, making sure checks are done in relation to that. And also we brief our volunteers prior to the day so they know exactly what they're doing when they arrive, because we don't have time to do it on the day. We have a lot of people come and visit the farm, a lot of people from the local area, but a lot of people whose grandparents were in farming, and they're coming to show their grandchildren where they used to go and farm, where they used to be, the types of technologies that they used to use on the farms and everything, and how much it's changed now, and just to have a good day out and learn about the environment that they're in. We haven't experienced very many tricky questions whilst I'm doing Open Farm Sunday. However, when we do get asked an awkward question. If we don't know the answer, we're honest. We say we don't know the answer. We'll go away and find out what the answer is and then come back to the person. And that helps us get out of the situation. Alternatively, we tap into our volunteer resources on the day. So if it's a specific question, like we use our agronomist to help us with the farm talks, or if it's somebody who's worked with machinery a long time, the engineers, we actually get them to answer the questions, or our grain merchants, we use them to help us out. So it's a game of using what resources you've got available to you to help answer the questions. First of all, get the handbook from Leaf. That's how to get started. That gives you all the information you need to know to do Open Farm Sunday.